Yo, YouTube. All right. So, I get this question a lot. And, when working with a digital team, people ask me, how do you guys like stay in touch? How do you guys communicate with one another, right? How do you guys stay on the same page? What we mainly use is Slack, right? And this is what we use for direct communication when I need to talk to someone right away. When I need to make a quick call to someone on my team, this is what I use. So there's a lot of other messaging apps out there too that some people may use. Some people have their teams on WhatsApp. Some people have their teams on Skype. Some people have their teams on Facebook Messenger, Telegram. That one's pretty interesting too. But what I seen work best for my team and what I seen to be like an industry standard between like other tech startup and Amazon sellers and any entrepreneurs really is to use Slack as a communication channel, right? So Slack is, like slacking off basically. So it's a very interesting, funny name that they chose, I guess. But this is Slack. This is what the website kind of looks like, right? But I'm just going to show you like how I have my Slack set up, why I like it, and how you guys can use it for your team too. All right. So first of all, the reason you want to use Slack is to keep your team on the same page and have a area to facilitate, like communication, have people engage with one another, right? Because when you're growing your team, you're not going to be able to communicate with every single person on your team all the time. You need your team to talk to each other, right? When you're growing a business, keep in mind that ideally you don't want to talk to more than like 7 people ever, right? These 7 people should have other people that you talk to, or there should be some group communications, right? If you're talking to multiple people on a one-on-one basis, then it really boggles you down, and you might end up being the choke point for growth within your company. So keep that in mind. So the nice thing about Slack is that you can have like different Slack channels, all right? So this is like my Slack channel, and this is what my team has, okay? So you can set up these channels where you can have these different conversations with different groups. You can have it private. There's different people in it. So just give you an idea, right? Amazon operations is anything general Amazon operations, Bolos, Q4. This is kind of back in the day when I did retail arbitrage, right? So this video is gonna go anywhere from RA to wholesale to private label, anything like that. It can be used for any business model on Amazon. So I also had an eBay channel, a graphics channel for any of my designers, anything inventory lab. Sometimes I have to tell my team like, hey, update this cogs, or update this setting, pull this thing, there's an error here. Inventory labs is where it kind of happens. By default, when you create your Slack channel, there's going to be a Slack channel where it's called general. I just call it living room because I like to imagine me and my team like having conversations in our living room within this channel. So it's more casual, of like just anything goes, just like funny stuff, just like, oh, like check out this article or la la la. So that's what living room is. Just the product ideas is basically some of my like all private label ideas. So it's kind of like me and my like team in China. That's where we kind of conversate. When it comes to separate channel just for that, because reorders are super important in business. You never want to be out of stock, and you always want to know where your shipments is. So we just kind of have all those conversations around reorders in that area. Restock Pro, this is a tool, I guess, in the Amazon space that if you guys want me to make a video on, I can make a video on. But I use it to kind of help me forecast like how to reorder inventory and things like that. Okay, sourcing, this is kind of like more private label ideas in general. I don't think we use this as much as product ideas, but it was supposed to be like all things related to the very front end of sourcing. Video, this is like some of the YouTube stuff, or like video editing in general. This is specific to YouTube. Try to clean that up, but there's wholesale and wins. That wins is just like anything good that happens, like post it in there, right? And that's how it should be. But ideally, there's also areas where you can direct message your team, right? And there's also apps you can really install too. So I like having Asana and Google Drive hooked up to mine, because those are like other apps that I use too. If you guys want me to make an Asana video of how I have it set up, please let me know in the comments below. If I get enough, like comments and likes on whoever posts about that, I'll go ahead and make a video on that. But yeah, some of the features that I really like is that you can tag people when you're talking to people within Slack. You can start a thread. So sometimes like someone will put like a wall of paragraphs, right? Or a whole bunch of sentences, and then it's like point 1 is this, point 2 is this, point 3 is this, and sometimes it gets confusing because like all the messages like are in one line. So what Slack allows you to do is they allow you to create a thread. So like based on like point 1, you can just hop into like its own like side conversation really quick, right? And it's easy to like just stay on the same page because it doesn't show up in the general conversation right here, but it only shows up on the right hand side right here in like its own thread. Okay, but other than that, tagging people works really good with like the Google Drive suite. The emojis are fun, to use too. And then one thing I like to do is like I set statuses, right? Basically to kind of just like let people like know like where I am, if I'm like gonna be out of office or anything, and that's how people stay in touch. Also, you can make phone calls, in basically Slack, and that's like one easy way for me and my team to like really reach each other really fast if we need to. But all in all, right, so Slack is kind of just basically where my team like congregates, where my team has conversations, where my team asks like, hey, can you help me really quick on this? Hey, can you take a look at this really quick? Or like, hey, I just sent you this link, please check it out, blah, blah, blah. And that's where those fast conversations happen, right? But anything like really project based, and if it's really tied down to a task, then we put it in Asana. Okay, so Asana is for project management, Slack is for more instant communication. Think like text messaging kind of style, right? And that's how me and my team use it. So I'm curious, right? How do you guys use Slack? Do you guys have cool certain channels that you guys have too that you I want to know like what channels you guys have, because I would love to shout off some other channels if need be. And yeah, if the video helped you and you started using Slack because of this, please let me know in the comments below. I love hearing that people started using tools or started implementing something because of my advice, and it makes me feel better at the end of the day. So see you guys, have a great day. Later.